Defund the police activist goes viral after begging for help when everything she owned was stolen in San Francisco. The cops didn't do... Let's get into it. Let's see what this lady's got going on. Defund the police. Genius concept. Or no? Let's find out.
We need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety.
If that's not it, what is it? It doesn't matter fractions. It's a matter of, is your city safe? And if it takes half of your budget to keep the public safe, then that's what you spent. It's not that difficult, right? It's not that hard to figure out. And many, many cities across the United States, they figured it out. And they are typically run by Republicans. Interesting how that works out, right? Not saying they don't have crime, but they don't have this kind of ridiculousness that goes on in these other cities where you have defunded the police and you engaged in this ridiculous notion that defunding the police is going to bring you, it's going to bring you safety from the standpoint of, hey, we're just going to go and invest in the community. It's all going to be great. Fewer cops, great. All right. How'd that work out for you? How did that work out for you? Let's, Oh, here's this woman. Doesn't that look about right? Doesn't that look right? Yeah. Looks like my old babysitter. When thieves made off with Darcy Bell's rented U-Haul truck, the San Francisco woman put out a call for help on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you see a 26-foot U-Haul truck with the Arizona plate AL 5003, would you let me know because I had everything I own in it? This woman has been spouting off about defunding the police. Now it happens to her. And you know what? I just don't care. Don't care. Hey, you got all your stuff stolen. That sucks. Had your kids' Christmas gifts in there. That sucks. But hey, bottom line is you supported something that you're getting a little bit of an experience about now, which is when you go down these roads of demonizing policing and defunding the police, that actually happens. And so you're experiencing that. And then the cops didn't really help you. Yeah, that's also part of it. We see that here in Seattle all day long. Portland, same drill all day long. You don't have enough cops. You don't have enough cops to keep your streets safe. And so they got to go on the most urgent of calls. People being murdered, people getting raped, people being assaulted, important stuff like that. Your belongings, which probably was less than, $950. So it was a misdemeanor. Your whole van was worth, it was a misdemeanor. So nobody cares. That's just kind of what goes on. Now, you want to go to a different city that didn't do this? Your van wouldn't be stolen. Your U-Haul van wouldn't be stolen in the first place. Just not happening, right? Not happening. Like the numbers we see where in California, in the Bay Area, San Francisco-ish, Oakland-ish, you've literally got a new vernacular. You've got a new vocabulary. You've got bipping, which is break-in in progress. You've got a new vocabulary to describe all the crime that's happening because so much progress has been made in this whole endeavor, for criminals to basically just do whatever they want. Justice reform is going to be great. The post went viral, but not for the reason she hoped for. Bell spent years posting left-wing defund the police views, and users sat across the site blasted and mocked the activist, as you should. Anti-police activist begs the police to help, jeered the X-account-based state of mind, which comments on San Francisco Bay Area politics. Tom Wolfe, an addiction recovery advocate who has nearly 30,000 followers, he posted a screenshot of a previous post in which Bell blasts the San Francisco police alongside a screenshot of a recent plea, shot and chaser, the caption reads. And that is, right here. Get out my little yellow thing here. Yeah. Defunding the police is good, actually. We pay them a whole lot to do less. And then over here, if you see a 26-foot high U-Haul, could you let me know? Because it's been stolen. They got it. The bad guys got it. I'm going to check out our private content. That's where you got stuff that's, it's a little bit more adult oriented from the standpoint of, hey, look at this one here. Veterans Administration scandal. You will be happy to know that your taxpayers' dollars are funding individuals who have, not only bedded 32 of their coworkers, but then bragged about it on a governmental communication portal. And also, they've had a 12-person orgy within their VA employment circle. Yeah, they got some crazy stuff going on. The good old government, right? Good old Veterans Administration government. And this is not the first time this particular office of the VA has had some sketchy stuff. So if you want to check that out, what's it going to cost you? It's going to be $3.99 a month, but you can get a free 14-day trial. And then after that, if you want to do it, $3.99 a month or $39.99 a year. That's our cheapest. All right. Thanks in advance for considering. I'll see you there. Belle, who goes by Jerke Cousteau on X with the bio saying, we'll respond to all bad faith arguments with ad hominem attacks, returning fire. Mere hours after she filed a police report, she blasted the police for not immediately locating her stolen possessions. I haven't found my stuff. The cops didn't do S. U-Haul made me, file a effing police report, she told the Post. Well, what did you think was going to happen? You know what? Most people in these big liberal urban cities don't even file police reports because you know why? It's a waste of time. Not enough resources for them to go after. You're not going to find your car. And if you do find your car, you're not going to want it back. Guaranteed, you're not going to get your stuff back. That stuff's gone. What little stuff you had in there that was, of any value whatsoever. I very, very doubt that. So, there's cameras all over this city. They haven't done S. I just want my stuff back. Well, you're probably not going to get it back. And you know what? Serves you right for going down this road, you not genius person. It's what you get. It's karma. It's what you get. Your stuff stolen. Don't really care. Yeah. If you had a different outlook on life, I'd say that sucks. That's disappointing. But since you don't, since you go to this extreme that really doesn't help anybody out except you and your virtue signaling, I'm going to say, go F yourself. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Anybody who went down this whole defund the police, greatest concept ever, you can just go F yourself because that's essentially what you're doing to society by engaging in that kind of absolute ridiculous rhetoric, right? So, to those accusing her of hypocrisy, she insisted she literally never called the cops and is reposting more calls to defund law enforcement for good measure. U-Haul urged her to alert authorities to the theft of its truck. Hey, don't really care about you. Don't really care about your stuff. We're a big corporation. Could you at least, fill out a police report so we might get our truck back? Truck's worth something, right? Truck is worth something. I have been watching a show called Landman on Paramount Plus with Billy Bob Thornton, and he's an oil guy. He's got his kid working on his crew, and it's a wild show, Landman. It's a wild show. And, they talk about stuff getting stolen by basically the Mexican cartel. And stuff gets stolen to make these big drug runs. And then miraculously, like a month later, stuff comes back. In this case, it's not coming back. Your truck ain't coming back. Your truck is gone. It'll come back in bits and pieces and parts and, whatnot, or they'll ditch it in some river or some damn thing like that. But, you're probably not getting your stuff back. What little stuff you had in there that was worth anything. And you know what? I just simply don't care. If you engage in ridiculousness, then that's what you get. As for her critics, she sneered at them. Look at these good Christian victim advocates celebrating my kids losing their belongings at Christmas. Your kids didn't lose them. It's not like these belongings fell out of their bags. They weren't going to grandma's with their luggage and all of a sudden all their gifts just fell out. No, criminals robbed you because you engaged in the sort of ridiculousness. You went down that path where you thought it would be cool and virtue signaling to defund the police. How's that apple tasting about now? How about them apples? Yeah. And this isn't hard stuff, folks. This is pretty easy stuff. But Sean, if we could just have defund the police last long enough, well, all right, you want to get rid of the police and Black Lives Matter. You want to get rid of, the border. You want to get rid of the judicial system. You want to get rid of cops. You want to get rid of, just about everything along those lines. Well, what are you gonna put in its place? What are you gonna put in its place? I'm listening. Because all you got right now is basically law and police officers and judicial system the way we have it now. You're not going to put anything. You're just going to dump money into social programs, which I have no issues with. I mean, there needs to be a balance of that stuff as well. But you can't try and kid me. You're going to defund the police and put money into social programs and then not have it impact public safety. That's just not a thing. That is called delusion of grandeur. So that's what we're doing. So celebrating my kids losing their belongings. No, they were stolen from you by criminals who know that they can get away with this. And how do they know this? Because they do it over and over and over again. That's why we have that vocabulary now that includes the word bipping. Bipping. Because it happens so often. Folks know, hey, don't leave anything in your car in San Francisco. Don't leave anything in your car. And I tell that to people here in Seattle as well. Cars get stolen here on a pound for pound basis. Cars get stolen here in Seattle area as much as anywhere in the United States. Anywhere in the United States. And it's because we have had this whole idea of defund the police, greatest thing ever. And we actually did defund the police. And now we're shy like 600 cops. And, you've had all of these generations of politicians who are against policing. They are from the far left. And you know what? It has not benefited the city at all. This progress looks like a bunch of drug addicts doing drugs, selling stolen goods, selling people, selling chicks. I mean, you got that all the time. You got that 24/7. People ODing, all of that. Graffiti everywhere. You've got all of that going on. And if you want to consider that progress, you know what? Whatever. I'm not going to believe you. And I just don't care. Because you're just ridiculous. You're stupid like this individual here. Oh, where are the cops? Where's my stuff? Nobody cares. Go home. You're going to have to buy your kids gifts again because thieves stole them, because you brought this on yourself, because you went down this ridiculous ideology. And how did that work out for you? Not that well. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye for now.